Hello everyone, and welcome to Don't Let the Virus Grind You Down. Now you're going to need a pen and paper for this because there's some exercises for you to do. So we're going to start today to think about the impact that this virus has had on us all. It's very personal and affects each of us differently depending on our situation. But I'm going to focus on you as an individual and look at three particular areas. Starting with what is personal resilience, how to develop it, and then some practical hints and tips. So firstly, what do we think personal resilience is? Well, it's the way we respond and react to adversity and how we face challenges. So thinking about building our own resilience, we need to keep ourselves mentally and physically well. And this is particularly if you're working from home and you're feeling a bit isolated. It's thinking about keeping everything in focus, but checking our own responses and reactions to things, being aware of ourselves so we can change if necessary. It's about keeping positive, finding the positives and opportunities in a bad situation, being grateful for the good things that we have. So each day, write down your achievements, even if you think they've only been small, but they will all add up. And also start practicing some techniques to reduce your stress. This includes meditation and mindfulness, and we're going to talk about that later. Then every night before you go to bed, say, I'm going to get some sleep and wake up tomorrow and do it basically good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect, just good enough. Make sure you keep a routine. It's important to keep structure and normality in our lives. So get up at your usual time. Take some meditation time now you're not driving anywhere. Dress smart casual. Don't sit in your pyjamas all day long. Follow your usual skincare and makeup routine so you look and feel as you normally do. And depending on your home circumstances, especially if you've got the family there, schedule your work time into the day, but also schedule some breaks in. Try and set up a workspace and a chair as you would at work, but be very careful about your sitting position if you're using an ordinary kitchen or dining room table and chairs. Think about your posture, your back, your hips, your elbows and your wrists. Don't set yourself up for a repetitive strain injury. Stand up about once an hour, walk around. If you've got a sit-stand desk, then use it. Set a timer on your phone to make sure you're reminded to do this. And then have a good stretch, particularly the shoulders and your arms, and wiggle those hips about. Close down from work at your usual time. Go to bed at your usual time, but don't burn the midnight oil. Switch off your phones and tablets because they've got a blue light that'll keep you awake. Keep in touch with people. It's important to maintain contact for your own and others' mental health. So set up a Zoom or a Skype account. Set up video calls with friends and talk to at least one person outside of work every day, either a phone or a video call. Call your vulnerable relatives on the phone. They probably don't have the internet. Just check that they're okay. Talk to your neighbours over the garden fence if you have a garden. It's very important for mental health to maintain good physical health. Exercise doesn't have to be painful, so take the recommended walk around the block. But also practice some simple yoga, Pilates or exercise routine. There's lots of those online. But do some exercise every day and build it into your schedule. Now the weather's improving, if you've got a garden, do some work on it and sit outside to get some fresh air. Eat as healthily as possible, but take some time to enjoy your food. Take small mouthfuls, savour it and chew well. Drink plenty of water to keep your brain hydrated. And hide the biscuit tin. Either don't buy them or just have one a day as a treat. And try and limit your alcohol, particularly in the week. If you're absolutely desperate, mark the bottle with a felt tip pen so you don't overdo it. And don't binge drink at the weekend to make up for it. So working from home then? Well, might be easier said than done. I do know somebody who's actually got the ironing board as their desk, so depending on your own situation, you may or may not have a lot of space and your internet connection may or not be brilliant, in which case you just have to accept that you'll be less productive than usual. So agree with your work, or decide if you're a sole trader what the absolute priorities are, and set or agree some realistic weekly goals. Keep reviewing them. Set a realistic target or goal each day. And as time is going on, it's very natural for our mood to drop. Some of us get angry. So decide to act and think positively. We need to try and keep productive for work, so be aware of what you can realistically do, setting small goals and targets in easy steps rather than a large project plan. In a noisy place, especially if you've got kids at home, put on your headphones or earplugs to help you focus. Download a background track of natural sounds such as birdsong, white noise, a rippling brook, seaside, etc. There's lots of them online. Set a maximum of 5 things to do each day, 2 for work, 2 at home, and 1 exercise. And don't try to do too much more. You'll get frustrated and stressed. If you find you've managed to do something that you hadn't expected, that's a bonus, so celebrate it. Now, keeping your family from cabin fever. If you have family at home, your household probably won't be quiet. It may look like this. It may feel like this. Even pets get stressed when their usual routine is changed. So depending on your family and home makeup, draw up a family contract. Think, what are our biggest challenges? What can we each do? What are we each good at? Stick to routines where possible because they give us a sense of safety and predictability. Create some zones in the home, a work area, a play relaxation area, and some time to be alone areas. So keeping the family amused or studying. If you've got preschoolers, keep to their nap times and try and work whilst they're asleep. If you've got school-age children, agree set times to do schoolwork and watch some educational programs that are on now. Keep a structure, but don't panic if they're just not in the mood. Let them play and be tolerant, and try and head off arguments before they arise. And don't forget, their whole world has been turned upside down. Now, you may have one of these, a teenager. Well, they don't want to be with you at the best of times, so don't be surprised if they just want to be on social media with their friends. Try and agree some set times for work. If you've got a partner, agree how you're going to share the childcare times. Try making a timetable grid for each day. Be realistic and build in some fun and some chill times. Don't forget, this is not homeschooling. You're not a qualified teacher. It might be distance learning at best, but family times can still be a positive learning experience. Try and stay away from the news. Only watch it once a day. It's very repetitive and depressing at times. And switch off distracting social media if you're working. Stay away from sensationalistic sites. But find your creativity to relax and de-stress. Find a hobby you used to do and haven't had time for. You could join a virtual choir. Get some colouring books for grown-ups. Gardening, painting, knitting, sewing, reading, handiwork, repairing things. Have a good clear out, ready to take stuff to the tip or the charity shop when they open again. Cook something nice, do some baking, but give some of it to somebody you know who's on their own. Do some sharing. And stay away from the mood hoovers people. If you've got one in your house, then talk about thinking of the positives, not discussing the negatives all the time. Now, we need to have virtual celebrations now for birthdays, anniversaries or special occasions. So set up one that everybody can join in online. Put up some decorations, put some music on, put up your Christmas lights if you haven't got anything else, and put your sparkly best clothes on. If you're with the person celebrating, buy or make them their favourite meal or make a cake. Everybody sing happy birthday together and do a collective toast. And everyone has to say what they like or love about that person, or to tell a funny story about them. You can do virtual quizzes. There's loads of those online. This does bring out the competitiveness in people. Charades is a good one you can do online, or guess that tune. If there's a music lover in your household, get them to sort it out and it'll keep them occupied. Something to think about for a while. Also, think about keeping relationships on an even keel, because this close proximity can test the strongest of relationships. If yours is under extra strain or it wasn't great in the first place, identify a place where you can be alone for a few minutes. Think before you speak. You don't need to get the upper hand at the moment, and don't start an argument for the sake of it just because you're cross that you're stuck with them. Don't react immediately. Practice closing your eyes, take a deep breath, count to 10 before you open your mouth. Don't forget you've got nowhere to run to. And repeat to yourself at least 3 times a day, this isn't going to last forever. We can get through it. This is an opportunity for me to, and then think about what you want to say next. There may be times now when you can't be there. Weddings that may have been in the planning for months may either have to be downsized, postponed, or cancelled. If a couple do decide to go ahead and you can't go, there'll only be a couple of people allowed there, so ask if there's a live stream or a video you can watch. Ask for an electronic copy of service. Put on whatever clothes you would have worn and don't worry about crying a lot. You can always arrange a proper celebration for a later date. But there may be times when you can't say goodbye. The news may be the worst. A loved one passes away and you can't be with them at the hospital or the hospice. There's only 2 people allowed at the funeral, but ask if there's a live stream or video of the service. And again, ask for an electronic copy of the service. Put on whatever clothes you would have worn and sit and think about what that person meant to you. Write it down. Try reading it out loud, it'll mean more. And don't be worried about crying unexpectedly at odd times you're grieving, whether you're there or not. You can always arrange a celebration of their life at a later date. Because funerals are a rite of passage and a chance to say goodbye. But you can say goodbye in your own way. Okay, now we're going to think about practical things we can do to keep our minds and bodies healthy. And we'll get through this difficult situation much better if we take a positive and a practical approach. So, eat healthily. Have a balanced diet. Now we all know this, but we do need to try and practice it. So we need fresh fruit, vegetables, a balance of protein, some carbs and some healthy fats. Keep away from junk food, it just makes you increase your waistline. Try and drink 8 glasses of water a day. Tap water's fine. If you don't like the taste, put a slice of orange, lemon or lime in it. If you buy a 4-pack of citrus fruit, slice it up, put it in the freezer and then just take out a slice at a time. Less shopping means the opportunity to go through what you already have in the cupboard. And look, here's some lovely pilchards. If there's lots of stuff, go through it. Chuck out the stuff that's years out of date. But don't forget, tinned food often keeps longer, so think creatively about what you could do with those pilchards. Check out the herbs and spices you have. You know you've got them, they're all at the back of the cupboard. It's an opportunity to try out your new cooking skills on new recipes. Cut down on your portion size though if you're at home all day long, unless of course you're a teenage boy, in which case give them everything they can get inside them. Try and sleep better. Get into good sleep habits for nighttime and try not to take naps in the day. It's not actually helpful in terms of your overall sleep patterns, because being tired and exhausted will make small problems seem bigger. Sleep is important for our mental as well as our physical health. So try not to burn the midnight oil. You don't want to look like this. Go to bed at the same time each night, but have a slow down routine. Don't look at your phone or tablets. Read books rather than Kindles. Put on relaxing music or listen to a relaxation tape. Keep the bedroom temperature cool now it's getting a bit warmer, and have a window open if you can. Now we're going to think about meditation. Now meditation will help calm your brain and reduce your stress. It's very focused relaxation. Now there's lots of apps and recordings to choose from online. You can save them to your phone or tablet. Now ideally you need to do this at a quiet time, preferably on your own. Many people practice in the morning as it's a positive start to the day. So if you're sharing a bedroom, put your earphones in so you don't disturb your other half. Allow about 15 minutes. Make it a daily habit. You've got all that time now, you're not travelling or in the car. Also think about mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being aware of yourself, your body and your breathing. It helps you to focus on the here and now. It's good to take a few minutes each day, particularly if something is stressing you out. You can do this with others around you. Close your eyes, focus on your breathing. Be aware of your body and how it's feeling, and consciously relax any areas of tension. We're going to think about finding purpose and meaning. Think about the bigger picture of what's surrounding us all. Be aware this situation isn't your fault and you can only do what you can do. It is what it is and it will come to an end at some point. Think about your own spirituality, your own religion or beliefs. It can be something really simple, such as waking up and setting an intention for the day. It could be goal setting for your longer term future. And then day-to-day problems won't seem as big because it's the way we approach them that matters. So think about what good will come out of all this, particularly for the environment. Start putting things in perspective. Ask yourself how bad the current problems will be in a day, a week, a month or a year from now. And whilst we may be struggling now, we will eventually get through it. Difficult path we follow will ultimately change from what we planned, but we will get through it to get to the top of our own mountain. So don't dismiss problems, but put them into perspective and they won't seem as bad or insurmountable. There's an old adage, this too shall pass. So resilience is about reassuring yourself and others that whilst our circumstances aren't good at the moment, it's not going to last forever. So acknowledge your stressed feelings, but you know they will eventually dissipate. And don't be harsh on yourself. You're human. You're in a situation not of your making, and whilst it is affecting your life and your plans, you're not to blame. People who tend to struggle say everything's rubbish because I'm hopeless and I can't cope. That just creates more stress and de-stress for you. So take responsibility for your own actions, but don't beat yourself up about the whole situation. Ask for help. We often talk about resilience as being strong, but the most resilient people are much better at reaching out and asking for help than those who try to do everything themselves. Acknowledge you can't do it all yourself, and asking for help is okay. So start building some strong relationships. If you want to ask for help, you need to know who to ask. So keep in touch with people who you think or know could help you now and in the future. Offer to help them if you know they're struggling, because they'll remember that. And share good experiences, particularly with those closest to you. Build up those quality relationships. They may be with people you've not had the opportunity to talk to or work with before. And practice your attitude. Think about the good things about being at home and having some time to think. Think, how long will it last realistically? And try and develop some short, medium and long-term plans based on what's likely to be a changed world at the end of this. What are the positives and the opportunities? Do you blame yourself that you can't be as productive as usual? Well, you're not a robot. You are influenced by what's going around you. And practice your gratitude. This is absolutely essential. Do this every day. If you feel yourself getting negative about the current situation, then stop. Try this exercise. For 60 seconds, think about all the good things in your life right now. And sometimes it's the small things that count. List them. Either write them down or record them. You can use your phone for this. And your negative feelings will soon be gone. Now I've got some examples for you to try, and you're going to need your pen and paper for this. Okay, right now I'm grateful for my taste buds to taste wonderful food. So think or write down the top 3 things you can taste in your mind right now. Don't think too hard about it. What are your favourites? I'm going to give you 15 seconds for this. Five seconds left. Okay, I'll tell you mine. Salted caramel chocolate, salted caramel ice cream, anything salted caramel. Smoked salmon salad. My ultimate favourite is grilled cheese on toast. Okay, here's another one. Right now, I'm grateful for my ears to enjoy listening to music. So think of or write down your 3 favourite songs or pieces of music that make you feel good. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Five seconds left. Okay, I'll tell you mine. My first is Ollie Miller's Dance With You Tonight. Cheesy one coming up, ABBA, Dancing Queen. And a loud one, The Contours, Do You Love Me? Well, don't panic because I'm not going to start singing. Not my strength or skill. Here's another one. Right now, I'm grateful for my eyes to see the beauty in nature. So close your eyes and picture your 3 favourite places, even if you haven't been there but you always wanted to go. It might be rolling hills, beautiful sunset, the seaside, a clear night sky with stars. So you've got 15 seconds to write down 3. Five seconds left. Okay, I'll tell you mine. Watching the sunset from an Aegean beach on holiday in Turkey. Looking over Lake Windermere in the sunshine. Or the Grand Canyon, always wanted to go there. Here's another one. Right now, I'm grateful for my friends and family. So picture them one by one. Don't try and pick your favourites, but if you do, don't tell the others. That's not fair. So think about all the things that you love about your friends and your family. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Five seconds left. Okay, so moving on. Right now, I'm grateful for all our essential workers who are working to look after us during this crisis. So they include the NHS. That's all the frontline staff and also all those in the background, because without them the system would collapse. So that's all the porters, the cleaners, the clinic administrators, the sterile services staff, the counsellors, therapists, caterers and pharmacists. Thinking about the care workers who are looking after our most vulnerable people in society, the bin men who take our rubbish away, shop workers filling the shelves who are on the tills or placking out online orders, policemen and women keeping us safe, delivery workers, train drivers, bus drivers, postmen and women, bankers, funeral directors and everyone else who's keeping the country going. Right now, I'm grateful for my neighbours, my community, seeing all the good deeds being done to help those who are vulnerable. This is particularly pertinent if you're a long way from your loved ones who need help. So write down someone who's doing something, or if you volunteered, what are you doing? I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Five seconds coming up. Okay, so I'll tell you mine. Mine is my mum's new neighbour. She's only lived there about 2 months since she moved in, but she's doing all her shopping for her, which is just lovely, and my mum's stuck in the house on her own at 92. Right now, I'm grateful for my TV or computer that keeps me entertained. There's lots of stuff available via iPlayer, YouTube, Netflix, Sky, or other services. And some of you may like comedies, others may be more into gothic horror. But whatever your taste, what are your top 3 drama series, programs, or films? I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Five seconds to go. Okay. Well, mine are The Vicar of Dibley, with absolutely brilliant characters and great acting. I love Gavin and Stacey. It's very subtle but hilarious, especially the Nessa character. And Mamma Mia, the movie. It's just full of sunshine and song. It always cheers me up. So right now, I'm grateful for my garden or outdoor space. It's important to get out and breathe some fresh air. Now, your garden doesn't have to look like this. Maybe you don't have a garden, but think of a space you'd like to go to. You may enjoy the countryside. Where's your favourite place to walk? I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Five seconds left. Okay. Well, mine is my own back garden. It's full of pots of shrubs, plants and vegetables growing, and also Bradgate Park. That's one of my favourite places to go for a walk. Here's another one. Right now, I'm grateful for the wildlife all around us. This may be birds in the sky, a herd of deer, or a small hedgehog that visits us. What are your 3 favourites? I'll give you 15 seconds. Five seconds left. Okay, I'll tell you mine. First one is a robin. It's taken up residence in my garden, braving the cats who were there at the same time, unfortunately. The deer in Bradgate Park, and flocks of geese who fly overhead making a right load of noise. Here's another one. Right now, I'm grateful for my mobile phone. Now, this might be a surprise, but I'd absolutely be lost without it. So what things are you grateful for that your phone does? I'm going to give you 15 seconds. What does your phone do? Five seconds left. Okay. So don't forget, up till a few years ago, we didn't have mobile phones. So my things I'm grateful for are, it gives me the ability to keep in touch with my family and friends, particularly my mum. Also allows me to do online banking and online shopping. Yes, I have a very serious shopping habit. We won't talk about that right now. Right now, I'm grateful for my pets. Now, you may or may not have any, but if you do, you know how much love they bring, even this one. And who can resist these two? So write down their names if you have a pet and say what they bring to your life. Got 15 seconds. Five seconds left. Okay. Right now, I'm grateful for my house, my flat, bedsit, apartment where you live. Yours may look like this, or maybe more like this in my case. So be grateful for the roof over your head, the central heating, running water, electricity, and particularly the internet nowadays. You've got food, drinks, somewhere to cook, eat, sit in a place to sleep. Not everybody has these things. There are many things in our lives to be grateful for, and sometimes it's the little things that make a difference. So start to practice gratitude regularly and you'll soon start to feel better. Your mood will lift and your stress will reduce. And don't forget, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes it's difficult to see, but it is there. And depending on how you react and respond to this current situation, it will seem much closer. So plan some of the things you're going to do or change once that day arrives. Write down one thing you're going to change, and I'm giving you 15 seconds. 5 seconds left. Okay. Well, mine is, I'm going to spend more time talking with or seeing my family and friends. Stop rushing about so much all the time. So don't forget, at the end of the day, we're all in this together. So by supporting each other, we'll all get through it. Now, some of us may be more affected than others, but depending on how we choose to react and respond, we'll have a more positive outcome. And at the end of the day, this will all just be a page in history. We can't change the past or even the present at the moment, so how we write the next chapter is up to us. So be strong, keep going, appreciate what you have, plan for the future. It may be different for you, but it may be better. And remember, the flowers will bloom. They always do. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed it. That's it for today's session. Thanks for listening. I'm Sue Grogan. Your well-being is my business.